Gosh. Ultimate Alliance, baby. There you go. Yeah, I gotta get that full screen shit.
Well, the first time he was incarcerated was because what he did.
Hi, Mr. Curtis.
He jumped up on my arm.
Hi, buddy. Are you being annoying?
She's just chilling.
Come here, mister.
Alright,
At the very beginning.
Good boy.
So when are we... So does it say when we're live or like we're just...
Already.
we're live.
Oh, this topic is how we're starting.
This is Connor.
Hi, mister.
This is how Connor starts out.
Curtis.
Well, I guess we should do introductions and
Am I
start
taking
out.
your bed?
So how are we supposed to log in? We just hit... Oh yeah, cooperative.
Start.
And then I gotta hit start. Okay, there you go. So
There you
yellow.
go.
And I gotta change to Wolverine. Okay. Look how I'm just rocking it in the t-shirt and jeans.
Who's playing as Wolverine?
I am.
Oh. Okay, now I'm the Diddler.
So you call it the Tiddler? That's what you call a Moon Knight?
No, I'm playing as
Luke Cage.
AKA P. Diddy.
Well, you know it's canon that P. Diddy and Luke Cage met up in the streets of New York when they were kids.
I did not know
That
that.
was something they added to
That's
the
true.
comics by Diddy's influence, because Stan Lee and Diddy actually used to hang out on Stan Lee's private island. You know Stan Lee had a private island in the Cayman Islands where he held slaves?
I did not know he did. I mean, I assume that's where Genosha came from in the X-Men War. That makes sense.
That's when he got that island around the time he was kind of desperate for money because he spent a lot of his Spider-Man money getting the island, so he went back to create characters. It's like the 90s, so he did like Stan Lee reinvents the DC Universe. Have you ever read those comics?
I think I did read those, yeah.
Yeah, and he also did Stripperella around that time. Stripperella.
I forgot about that. So that's where they probably did the whole, him being the DJ at the thing in Deadpool then.
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds actually, the first time he met Stan Lee was on the island. Because Blake Lively was out there.
Not surprised.
Hi, Mr. Curtis.
It's cool to see Elektra and Storm on the same team.
Yeah. Those are some characters.
They're like two random characters from the Marvel Universe that are like hanging out.
I like Elektra a lot. She's a cool character when they do her right.
You see that comic where Elektra and Electro fuck, bro?
I did see that. It was pretty good. It's a good comic.
Stan Lee, or fucking Spider-Man kind of got a... I don't know, he's looking weird there.
He's got you looking at his Spider-Man ass?
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Woman. There you go. Haven't seen that screen in a long time. The loading screens for this game look awesome.
Alright, so not only is this an NTMA Productions Let's Play, but this is also a...
Welcome to a Yoda Joe, and yeah, Productions podcast. So welcome, guys. We are doing an X-Men podcast now, and we are going to talk about some X-Men stuff, but also just kind of have some fun playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I hope you guys enjoy this. We kind of had a weird intro start of just kind of talking about some big topics, because there was some interesting news that was happening today.
Yeah.
yeah, what
Like
happened
Ricky
at
Martin.
the Madonna concert?
The Madonna concert was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
I guess we had Bonergate happening, and it's become a thing.
So by now you guys have probably heard of Bonergate. Ricky Martin at the Madonna concert got an erection on stage.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Anyways, let's move on to our next topic for this X-Men podcast.
Yeah, we gotta come up. I think what we gotta start with is we gotta come up with a name for this podcast. What are we gonna call this podcast?
The Y-Men for you.
Oh yeah, the Y-Men. Yeah, the Y-Men. That's
Yoda
right.
Joe 93 Men for short.
Yeah. So welcome to.
I think we should be the high men.
So of course we do that. So welcome to the Y-Man podcast, guys. How are we doing today, guys? We're going to be talking about, like I said, we're going to be talking about X-Men. We had
Okay,
some
come back
topics.
here. There's money. We need the money.
Oh, there's more stuff to collect.
Got the money, because the money's how you get the...
Yeah, you gotta get good shit by getting the money.
Oh, shit.
Trying to disarm this bitch.
Oh, we gotta protect Nick Fury, too.
I forgot about
Nick
that.
Fury,
Oh, I forgot. You can
dumb
pick.
dude.
I forgot one of the best things about this game is you can pick up their weapons when you beat the shit out of them with. So now I'm just gonna beat him with a stick, because I can.
That seems much more efficient than your claws.
Apparently so. sometimes, you know, the claws just get a little too messy for me. Sometimes I just want to brutally beat them with a stick.
Alright, Joe, so I'm going to ask you about a comic arc I'm curious if you're familiar with.
Okay.
It actually involves 2 characters on this team.
Alright, let's get into it. That's
Have
our
you
first
read
topic.
Uncanny X-Men 287 where Luke Cage taught Wolverine about racism?
Yes, I have read every issue of the Uncanny X-Men because the X-Men... Here's something you don't know about me, Connor. We talked a lot about DC back at AMC, but when Marvel was really good and Marvel was really right, the X-Men are my favorite superhero team.
Yeah.
So I read a lot of DC comics when I was a kid, but I read the shit out of X-Men. Like, when that 90s X-Men series hit, I was reading everything. The one comic I just have never been able to achieve that I've never found a good copy of for a price I'm willing to pay is I just can't get that first appearance of Wolverine comic against the Hulk yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
That's like a
It's
$70,000 comic book. Right
Yeah,
there.
it's too much money. I mean, it's a good comic, but shit, man, the price is...
What do you think of that issue where Rogue gets her first period? Did you think that was too much?
No, I thought it was intense, but I mean, I thought it served the story pretty well. I think it was a good story.
They really tied everything together.
I liked in the comics back then because when you look at the MCU today, you know, it's all like they all gotta polish it up. I feel like back in the day,
It was raw, man.
yeah, I liked how back in the day you could prove that Marvel, like you could make the argument that Marvel and DC truly could compete because they actually were on equal footing in terms of like what kind of dark storylines they could be.
Well, Magneto
Yeah, the period
and
storyline was
Professor
pretty
Xavier
dark.
are 2 of like the most like they're kind of like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Would you say not?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's an accurate adaptation of them for sure.
You read that one-shot issue. It was kind of like obscure, but it was the X-Men stopped the smoking. They brought it to schools, and actually what they did was the X-Men told you not to smoke cigarettes.
stop.
It was pretty basic, but it actually was the first appearance of Cannonball.
Did Wolverine actually appear in that issue and like actually take part? Because I thought
Yeah, well, that's when they made it so he stopped smoking in the comics.
That's interesting.
Go up and downstairs.
That came out in 2003 when I was in elementary school, so they were kind of giving.
I love how we're helping Dum Dum Dugan. well, here's a fun topic for you guys. Not necessarily X-Men, but more Marvel. What do you guys think about Dum Dum Dugan as a character?
I literally think nothing about Dum Dum Dugan. I didn't know Dum Dum Dugan was a character until literally seconds ago.
Well, what are your thoughts on like first impressions? Then I guess.
Fucking want to kill his ass.
First impressions of Dum Dum Dugan.
Wait. Connor, you should take that.
Okay.
Connor needs the body upgrade. Let him get it. Luke Cage gained the body upgrade. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
Dum Dum
if you
Dugan-
see those upgrade orbs, we gotta kind of decide who needs them.
I agree. Oh shit! Look at that. Well, you and I are both tag teams. Are you Iron Man, Aiden?
I am.
Dang, that's awesome. Aiden is Iron Man. Yeah, I think Dum Dum Dugan is an interesting character. I wanted to hear Aiden's impression of it because I
I
just
have
thought it
no
was so
fucking
important.
idea what a Dum Dum Dugan is.
He's a member of the Howling Commandos.
Oh.
Oh, you don't want to do the
We can
load the comic mission.
now.
Let's not do that right now.
Why not?
Because I don't want to get taken out to do a fucking stupid side mission for
Those comic missions are fun. They were some of the best.
We'll get to them
parts of
eventually.
this game. We're doing upgrades. Okay.
I'm just looking at something.
What we got? Loading my shit. Yeah, I'd upgrade my what should we call
Did
it?
you read that issue
Can't upgrade
where
anything.
Jessica Jones cheats on Luke Cage
I did.
for his clone?
Dude, that was so messed up, man.
That is fucked up. Just a fucking bitch move, really.
Yeah, I hated
Yeah.
that comic. I thought it was one of the worst rated comics because it's like Jessica Jones wouldn't intentionally do that, and I just think it's tackling themes of like the women's right to choose.
It's really
Because
a power.
you know their first child is the clone baby.
Yeah, I just feel like
That's
it's
why they killed her off in the comics.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those things where they just like did not know what they were doing and they don't understand. Oh, great, Crimson Dynamo, fun.
Well, we got Iron Man on the team, so
Yeah, we get special dialogue for that.
Yeah. There's a fun fact for you guys. Do you guys know we'll never get Crimson Dynamo in the MCU because of the fact that they kind of did Crimson Dynamo by combining Crimson Dynamo and Whiplash and Iron Man 2.
What do you think? Okay. Thought. Riri Williams gets killed off in the MCU.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell and Stanley Tucci each play like two different versions of Iron Man. Because Sam Rockwell, I think you have to press A, Joe.
Well, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
But Sam Rockwell played Justin Hammer, and Stanley Tucci is Mary Dan Lapointe's sister.
Yeah. I would say that sounds like a much better option than what we have right now, and I think that could be $1 billion idea, because I think that, say what you will about Iron Man 2, but I think that Justin Hammer is one of the greatest characters. I truly think that Sam Rockwell is one of those actors that he has fun with what he's doing in life, and he knows what he's doing, and I think that that's something cool. I would enjoy more of Sam Rockwell getting a more leadership position.
What was your thoughts on? It's kind of a recent issue, so I don't know if you read it yet, but it's the one where Ironheart and Miss Marvel get in a relationship together.
I'll be honest. I specifically tried to stay away from Miss Marvel and Ironheart comics because I think they're two of the worst created characters of all time, and that's my hot take. Like, you remember when we watched episode 2 of Miss Marvel and we literally didn't finish it?
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
Connor Luke Cage level bit.
I can't believe we literally watched that that show, and we literally spent 90% of the episode in a church just because Disney had to prove, hey, look, guys, she's Muslim. You see? Look, you can see she's Muslim, right? Even though it's in her character, and they're making it's like it just was stupid. But yeah, I think that's an interesting take for sure. So I just generally stay away from those characters. Like, this is probably not a big secret to you. I was not a big fan of Wakanda Forever, and Riri Williams didn't do anything for me. Yeah. I've never really. I get they had to have an Iron Man replacement, but I never really was vibing with the whole Riri Williams stuff in comics. It just didn't vibe for me.
Sure.
What do you think of that story arc? Actually, speaking of Dum Dum Dugan, where because Agent, I think it was a Jim Steranko comic. It was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 29.
Oh yeah.
Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You remember that one where Dum Dum Dugan has an affair with Nick Fury's wife? Oh, that was kind of weird.
It was.
I also just never bought Dum Dum Dugan as the type of guy who would do that. So it was when they retconned it to be a clone. They killed off Nick Fury's wife and retconned it to be a clone during the Spider-Man Clone Saga, because that was the most long and convoluted.
I mean, that's already better than what they did in Secret Invasion, where they had Nick Fury's wife be a Skrull.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Do you think Dum Dum Dugan has a chance to Do you think they'll try to bring that controversial story arc?
I think it's quite possible.
To the MCU, Dum Dum Dugan.
I mean, we haven't seen him since.
Because he died. I mean, he was from Captain America: The First Avenger, but
yep.
Multiverse,
Yeah, I mean that's where they're going, I guess. Whoa! I'm getting picked up and thrown around now. Super Soldier.
Beat this guy.
Wait, why are we so generic at this point that they have a giant guy that's trying to use Hulk strength on me, and all they can think of is calling him is Super Soldier?
He's a super soldier.
Getting back to X-Men, what do you think of the recent revelation that Professor Xavier is dating Jean Grey?
I thought that was a pretty interesting development, and honestly, for me...
Yeah, I mean, I thought,
For me, I still feel like, the only one that dates Jean Grey in my eyes is Cyclops, but, I mean, I get it. Everyone wants a piece of Jean Grey.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of a cool twist, because we always saw Professor Xavier as a father figure, a daddy, so to speak, and not a zaddy.
Yeah, but
now he's kind of more taking on more of a zaddy role.
That's true.
Jean, so it's kind of interesting though. Because at first I think a lot of people thought it was creepy, but it's just the general character arc is just so well done that
He's left.
It's probably one of my. Well, Aiden disagrees with me.
Aiden disagrees, huh?
Yeah, he read the issue too. He thought it was bullshit.
I think Aiden's gonna
I
be
think
pissed.
are you coming around to it though, Aiden? As you?
You know, at first I was kind of questioning it, but honestly, it kind of works for me. I think it might be better than the
I mean, they're both
Cyclops and
Yeah.
Jean.
You know, what I'm thinking just really works to me is I think that this entire podcast should just be centered around the fact that Dum Dum Dugan Aiden is now responsible for knowing Dum Dum Dugan is one of the greatest characters of all time.
I guess.
And I want to see Aiden in the thumbnail as Dum Dum Dugan, like rocking the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah, you could literally do that.
I could Photoshop
I
that.
want to see it, man.
You could Photoshop that together, man.
I think that'd be great. That would be great clickbait to get people to click on the video. Like, what is this he's talking about, Dum Dum Dugan?
I don't think anyone would know what Dum Dum Dugan is to click on the video to
One
be
thing I
clickbaited
do
by.
like- well, they might just think like it's a funny mustache and stuff.
Yeah.
It might be like that's the guy who fucked Nick Fury's wife.
Yeah.
I think.
There's some real comic people that would get it. They would
Yeah, like
understand
right
it.
away they'd be like, okay, like no one liked Dum Dum Dugan, but what Steranko did with him in the Agents of Shield 29, kind of crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Did you
I mean, it
read-
sounds
so
kinda wild.
in the Batman versus X-Men comic or Teen Titans versus X-Men, I'm sorry. What did you think of Jubilee's first kiss being Nightcrawler?
I liked that. It was good.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to like actually like put that revelation in like a kind of a multiverse crossover comic. But that's one thing they actually carried over to the main books is that like Nightcrawler.
Yeah. It's a good thing they were in the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the thing. A lot of people questioned it, but that's because they didn't read X-Men 269. Because in that book, Nightcrawler is... Because, you know, Nightcrawler was killed in 267 as, like, the 25-year-old man, but then he was, like, revived 7 issues later as a teenager.
That's what I love about comics. Is it's someone that you really like. If like they have a tragic death, or like someone
Yeah.
like maybe you think you don't like them, or you do like them.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it
I
all
think,
just
get
gets
killed.
undone. So.
I think
Yeah.
what Rob Liefeld was trying to do with that was that he figured he was shipping Nightcrawler and Jubilee, but it was kind of like a forbidden romance because the age difference at first.
Yeah.
But, so I mean, it made sense from a story perspective.
I love Nightcrawler. He's one of my favorite absolute X-Men characters.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Nightcrawler.
He's a cool
I'm
guy.
just sad that like Jubilee and Nightcrawler end up breaking up. I wonder if
That's
they could
sad.
do something with that in X-Men 97.
That'd be cool. I mean, honestly, I know he's going to be in it. I haven't seen him yet, but it'd be cool to see.
Oh, he's not in it yet?
No, because they focus throughout the show. They focus on different character arcs. So like,
Oh, is the Arrested Development in it?
so basically,
Or Arrested Development?
you get when they start the show, they pick up immediately where the '90s show ends. So Charles Xavier is dead, and Magneto owns everything that Charles owned, and he's technically the true leader of the X-Men. But Cyclops and Magneto are button heads because Cyclops is like, oh well, I gotta be the leader because Charles chose me to lead. But then you got basically Magneto's like, oh yeah, no, I need to take charge, and like basically Jean's trying to convince Scott to leave because they're having their kid, Nathan Summers.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But then what ends up happening is Jean is actually a clone, and so Jean ends up being what's her name? The Goblin Queen. What's her name? I'm trying to think. She's got another name too. Madam.
Oh, you got the new Luke Cage costume coming?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
nice.
check out what it
I don't
is.
think you can switch here. You have to switch
Oh,
it.
my
Madam-
check stats, though, it is.
I think it's Madam Pryor.
Oh, okay.
And so she basically is like connected with Mr. Sinister, and like basically she's the Goblin Queen. She becomes a whole deal.
Where's my point, though?
Your money's in the bottom left.
Oh, no, not money.
And so one of the messed up
Okay.
things, I don't remember if this happened in the comics or not, but one of the messed up things that happened early on in the show is even though people expect Rogue and Gambit to be together,
Yeah.
Gambit and Rogue and Magneto had a relationship taking place from the time that Xavier has been gone to now Magneto taking over. And because of Magneto's powers, Rogue, her powers don't like when she uses her powers, it can usually any boy she kisses will just die.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on Magneto.
Why?
So they might have been like something about his powers have like nullified her abilities, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, they never did that in the comics, but
Luke
there
Cage
was
leveled
the
up.
there was the comic arc
Feel
where
anything good to buy.
there's the comic arc where Magneto dates Kitty Pryde, and that kind of caused some conflict.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with Magneto. I think it's cool. It's also cool that now that Magneto's a good guy, he doesn't wear the helmet anymore to protect his head since Charles is dead, and he has a new costume where it literally has the M for Magneto on his chest. Still got the purple cape, and he's just flowing long hair now, man. He's just feeling like he's living in that '90s era.
Oh,
You know, rocking the long hair, the white locks.
Okay, if you could pick any character from DC to join
Marvel.
X-Men, who would it be? Specifically the X-Men.
Well, yeah, I'd want to probably have someone that has powers because you want to see someone have like a mutant arc, right?
Yeah.
Let's think. Who would be good to blend in with the X-Men team? That's a good question.
I'll name one. I always thought it'd be interesting if Luke Skywalker joins the X-Men. Like, I know it's not.
So we're going
DC,
super like
but any media character, because I always thought
he was kind
I
of
was
mutant.
like writing kind of like a little bit of like a short story I was playing around with making for the channel. Because we started our own fan fiction. We started our own account in fan fiction. Because, I mean, you know YouTube, you gotta kind of diversify.
Yeah, do something different.
So I always kind of shipped Wolverine and Luke Skywalker.
That is an interesting relationship. I never knew that could be explored.
Because it's very different from what most.
Yeah, that is very different. That's a pretty good choice. I did not think about that one. I'm still trying to think. You know what? I think I would probably. I think Raven would fit well with the X-Men. I think her powers would blend very well, and I think she could have a great connection.
Hi, Curtis.
You want to play someone different, huh?
No, I'm not switching my character. I'm seeing what the new costume is.
Oh, you have to go to change team to do the new costume.
Because each costume has different powers.
Yeah, I did notice that actually. Heroes for Hire is pretty cool.
And it sucks.
I mean, it looks fine if you want to attack, but I mean, health regen, defense, max energy, that's gonna be overpowered, really.
Yeah, it won't really work well. Yeah, I just think
Anybody
Raven.
else have upgrades right now? Or?
Like currently,
Let's get this show on the road.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, let's get this shit.
yeah, no, well, that's a nice image of Elektra.
Yeah, it's cool.
No, I would say, I think Raven would fit really well because she has the inner struggles of her powers, and I could see that blending really well. Just maybe maybe Raven and Nightcrawler could be a thing, and then maybe you could have some stuff with Magneto in her because her powers are kind of on the darker side.
I was actually thinking like Raven and Jubilee, like a light and dark type of relationship.
That would be interesting. I would be up for that.
Hi, Curtis.
I'd be very interested in that actually.
But the only problem is Jubilee is confirmed not lesbian in the comics.
Well, but here's the thing about the comics, right? There's always a new writer and a new person that comes in that can write a new story.
What do you think?
Yeah, I
what
know
do
the
you
latest
think-
comic arc made Jubilee transgender.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I don't know why they keep
Little off
pushing
You
the
know
that.
what
rails.
was weird to me? Like, okay, so you know how they made Iceman gay?
Yeah,
Recently in the comics, they made Iceman straight again.
that's weird. They should
Do you think
just
that was
keep,
like a positive or like a negative?
I think they should just keep him straight. Because I think that his relationship with Kitty in the X-Men movies is pretty dope. Speaking of which, we gotta talk about the movies.
Yeah.
I think we should go around. Let's do because it's gonna be tough to come up with number one. Let's name our top 3 favorite X-Men movies, and then we'll see if we come up with a proper number one that we definitively agree,
Okay.
or have a conversation about what we say.
Well,
So who wants to say their top
I think
three
Aiden
first?
should start.
What's your top 3 favorite X-Men movies, Aiden? And here's the criterion: you can't use Logan because it's not a traditional X-Men movie. It
Okay.
focuses on Wolverine, so none of the Wolverine movies count. It has to be strictly the X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no Deadpool either.
Wait, what if we could cheat and do one side movie?
One side movie on. Yeah, we
there's,
can do that.
if we're doing 3, then I think it's fair. But we have to be X-Men focused. You know?
Yeah, I feel like X-Men focus.
Deadpool or Wolverine.
Yep. You know what? I actually have an underrated
gonna
take for that
say,
side movie.
I'm gonna say number 3 is gonna be X-Men: Rise of Apocalypse.
That was a pretty good movie.
Really, you
Number 2 is gonna be Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2 is really good.
you liked Apocalypse, huh? It's interesting.
And then number 1, I'm gonna go with. I think for number 1, I'm gonna go with New Mutants.
See, I'm not a big
Oh,
fan.
New Mutants. Yeah, well, does New Mutants count as a spin-off though, or is that?
I don't know.
That could be a side. That could count. I mean, New Mutants is an actual team within the X-Men, so I guess you could kind
Yeah,
of
I
put
guess
it in.
I think they're close enough since it's like
Yeah.
a team movie. It's just kind of.
I thought New
think this
Mutants
is
did.
you.
I thought
think
New
you got
Mutants
Chris
really
Evans.
did magic well. I thought they did magic very well in that
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
want to go next, or should I go next?
You can go next, Aiden. Or Connor. Sorry.
I thought a lot about this. I think X-Men: Days of Future Past is on the list, obviously.
Yeah.
You still got to tap it.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Just keep tapping.
Bruce
while it's
Banner
back.
just keeps talking.
But yeah. So I mean, Days of Future Past. It's a masterpiece. It's great. Definitely Logan next, because I mean, come on.
You gotta have Logan on the list. Yeah, I agree.
And actually, I take back Logan because I can only have one spin-off. And I actually have a spin-off that's my favorite, and it's not Logan, surprisingly.
Mine is too, and mine might get a hot take. That's interesting.
My next one is probably X2. I mean, come on, it's the classic. But my favorite has to be X-Men Origins Wolverine.
What?
Yeah, I actually loved how they. I love the reinterpretation of Deadpool. Like, I might be the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty
to
cool,
say it.
honestly.
So you like when they turned Deadpool into Baraka from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, exactly why I liked it. Because we
kinda
were
badass,
waiting
if I'm
for
being
Mortal
honest.
Kombat. Like, how long had it been since we got a Mortal Kombat movie?
It was.
How long did we wait
I
till
will
we
say
got-
this. I don't love everything about that movie, but one thing I will say, that final fight with Sabretooth and Wolverine tag teaming his ass, it's one of the coolest final fights. And the idea to give him all the other
Well,
mutant powers.
the Blob also reminded me of my favorite Austin Powers character, Fat Bastard.
Oh, that's awesome.
You
That's
know?
funny.
And then Will.i.am was in the movie. And I mean, come on, raise a hand here if you don't like the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, man, I think that's a
To
good
be
one.
honest, I'm a B. I got a feeling. Let's get it
This
started.
wall. Okay, there we go. Yeah. No, those are good takes. I like that. So you got.
I got Days of Future Past, X2, and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's an interesting take. Okay, so you're on DC.
There's also Gambit, Prince of Persia playing Gambit.
Do we have to
That was-
break this thing?
That was pretty interesting. I'm not a huge fan of that casting because I love the character of Gambit. I'm very sacred to who plays him, but it was fine.
Were you excited for the Channing Tatum?
I was because I think he's gonna finally be, and we're gonna finally see him in Deadpool and Wolverine. Finally play Gambit. We're finally gonna see if that movie would have been good because if we would have
Sure.
seen him as the character.
I think Channing Tatum is probably the best choice they could have gone with for Gambit because
Yeah.
he's like Gambit, you know. He's just like
And
the
he did,
average
and he,
white
and
guy,
I don't know if you
you know,
read this, but
crazy.
he did the research. Like he went and cooked a bunch of Cajun foods and
Wow.
was
It's
Yeah, I heard he was eating gumbo every day for and gumbo's not a quick meal. Like his private chef was working 8 hours, so
Yeah.
it's significantly more expensive than his standard diet of crinkle fries and chicken nuggets. So
Yeah, I love it. You know what? I'm gonna go. Let's see. So my list.
let's hear it.
Okay, so number 3, because I'm gonna probably stick to. I will go the route of doing. I'll do 2 X movies and 1 spinoff. I'm gonna go for something that people aren't gonna think of because you had a hot take with X-Men Origins. I'm doing another hot take out there.
I thought Aiden's X-Men Apocalypse hot take was kind of surprising.
I was surprised.
Apocalypse is good, man.
You know, I'm gonna go.
Me and Aiden didn't have any movies in common.
That's interesting for me. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have a diverse list.
Yeah.
I think you and I, our number 1 and number 2 might be similar.
Okay.
I'll say number 3 for me. I'm going the Wolverine.
Oh.
I like the Wolverine because Logan is honestly one of my favorite characters, and the fact they explored his history in Japan, and well, they did turn. I kind of dug the twist that Silver Samurai was just kind of a robot and was trying to take his like armor. And watching Wolverine, where he got his, I never thought we'd get an arc where Wolverine got his claws shredded off, and he had to like actually like take out a katana and like fight him. I think that was almost Phantom Menace level choreography. Like I thought that shit was awesome.
Yeah,
I got paid for that shit.
Not nearly as good as the Phantom Menace.
Right, not nearly as good, but like
come on.
it was still pretty cool. I liked it. And then number 2, I'm going X2, man. I think Bryan Singer is the best person to direct X-Men.
I think Bryan Singer is just a great guy.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd go that far, but that's an interesting take. I really like his take on X-Men.
Did he do something or something? Why did he?
I mean, people were saying some stuff about him for a while.
What about his philanthropy?
Yeah, it was pretty
He
rough.
was donating to the Young Boys YMCA club.
I mean, I think the thing I love about X-Men...
He was like
cool.
an active member. Like he was working hard in the Young Boys club at the YMCA.
I think the thing I love about X2 is like, so the first movie they introduce your main... The first movie they introduce your main X-Men, and X2 you get like, you know, kind of more Wolverine story, but you get New Mutants introduced. Like, you know, we got Bobby Drake, they introduced Pyro, and Pyro is one of my absolute favorite characters. I'm glad they're bringing it back from Deadpool and Wolverine, because I love Pyro. I thought that how they introduced him, like when I was a kid, people want like to root for the X-Men. I wanted to be Pyro when I was a kid. I wanted to blow up flaming police cars and just like, why not? Like everyone else was just at Bobby Drake's house, like we're gonna call the cops. You're weird. Everyone else, Bobby Drake's being a pussy. Wolverine doesn't know what to do. They're all trying to get out of there. Then fucking Pyro is just like, I'm gonna fucking blow up some cop cars. Look cool, dude. Just some cool tricks with my lighter. So, yeah, X2, like...
Well, they kind of took that to be a major character trait, because you read that X-Men comic, I think it was from like 2020, where Pyro was actually in Minneapolis, which I thought was cool, because you don't see when...
I thought that was pretty sick.
Yeah, when he came and he was like doing the ACAB and like burning cars, and it was like, is he that guy for that, you know?
Yeah, I think he's... Yeah,
burn down the precinct.
He definitely walks the line, you know?
Because like,
that's kind of what makes him interesting.
Like, I like that the comics can kind of explore that, you know?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job with that.
the whole like the death scene that like because he wasn't George Floyd per se, like they wanted to make it a mutant instead, so they made him like a white guy.
I thought that was cool. I liked how they did
but
that.
I did like that they like kept the cop as Derek Chauvin, because they can legally do that, because like
he's a public figure.
He's a public figure. I mean, he's an American, really.
I think the other thing that really worked for me is I really like. Oh, you got bodied?
Yeah, Luke Cage is gone.
I really liked how
I got fucking corner locked while you guys were playing Tiddlywinks.
I've been fighting the whole time.
I'm trying to fight, but I keep getting hit by this punk ass. Oh, I level up, sweet.
Moon Knight's projectiles are pretty solid.
Yeah, he's got good projectiles.
He just blasts dude.
I'm going full rage mode on this guy. He pissed me off. But yeah, so I really like. I also love how they introduced like I thought Lady Deathstrike. Played by what's her name? Kelly
Clarkson?
Not Kelly Clarkson. There's an
Osbourne?
Asian Kelly. I can't remember how you say her name.
Kelly Osbourne, I think.
Not her.
From like The View or whatever.
No, it's the chick that was
Ozzy's
No, that's
wife.
the mom.
Yeah.
That's the mom
Oh my
of
God.
Ozzy Osbourne that's on The View. That's his mom. That's Ozzy Osbourne's mom.
Dum dude, I don't want to talk to you, man. Shut up. I'm trying to.
Well, I guess we should go back and revive Luke.
Yeah. So I really liked the fight at the end between her with her whole like little like fingernail claws.
Right.
Because she's a cool character. I'd like to see her explored more. Hopefully they'll bring her back in another story.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to bring her back in X-Men and Wolverine, because they're all in like Weapon X.
I liked that she had a I liked how they cast an actual real martial artist to play her.
Yeah.
So that her and Wolverine's fight was super cool.
Lucy Liu, wasn't it?
Not Lucy Liu, but Kelly Hugh. She also did a lot of big martial arts roles.
Yeah. Okay.
Surprisingly enough, she made the jump to playing in a Marvel property. Do you know who she ended up being? I don't know if you saw all of it. She was China White from Arrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she ended up
yeah, that's
being that
actually
right.
I liked that comic where Green Arrow like after because Connor Hawk, his son, became Connie Hawk.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
I was kind of like, at first I was kind of unsure about that, but
Yes.
honestly, like, why not? You know?
Yeah, X2 just had so many good moments for me. Like the stuff with the mind games of Cyclops. Like doing.
Do you have to replace him? I don't think you can revive him. What does that mean, Wolverine?
So Wolverine just throwing zingers out of
She
you.
looks hot there. Dude.
Yeah, she does look. She
That's
looks good.
Storm, I think, right?
No, that's Sue.
Wait, hold on.
So yeah, I liked so I like that. I like that one. I think X2. You know, we got Nightcrawler. They introduced Nightcrawler. The plot with the
Oh, we have
president.
to wait 3
was-
minutes to revive team.
Yeah, the plot with the
I
president
guess
was
let's
good.
Go to the next one, I guess.
Yeah, the plot with the president
We don't
was
know
good.
when the next one's gonna be.
I
Hold on
like
a second.
I like the connection to William
Oh,
Stryker. I
fine,
like,
as long as we don't get another DOS.
But
I
I,
liked
don't
how
want
they-
to. I don't want to screw Luke Cage out of the experience.
yeah, I liked how they did the whole situation with William Stryker. I thought that was handled well. And then so I think number 2 for me, I gotta go 6. Yeah, X2 is number 2, and then number 1, which I think Connor, I believe you had this one on your list. I think, and I don't think it's been outdone. I don't think that they might do other good X-Men movies in the future, but I think of the Fox era, I think Days of Future Past is without a doubt the best X-Men movie. Like you have all the movies, so you have all of the X-Men movies, but then you have and you have the side movies, but you have the X-Men, right? And all the movies they did. I like Days of Future Past because this might get some MCU fans mad, but I think Days of Future Past is a better time travel movie than Endgame is. It's my hot take.
I don't even think that's a hot take. I think Endgame's decent. Okay, the Endgame's not bad, but Days of Future Past is actually a legitimately good movie.
And I love how I like their version of Quicksilver better. I thought Evan Peters was great.
I mean, it's not even fair to
compare the two. Yeah, and
they just wanted to do their own Quicksilver thing.
Yep, they did. That's true. So I liked him. I still think. Well, I will always appreciate the original Magneto. Man, I love what they do with Michael Fassbender, going to such great lengths just to go completely murdering people, and interacting with Wolverine was great.
Okay, this is one tangentially related. What do you think of the Ultimate X-Men comics?
I'm a fan. Some of them were a bit more dicier
What do
than
you
I was
think of the
expecting.
Ultimatum, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver?
That was tough. And you know what reminded me of that comic that's kind of crazy?
But it was her, her it was his vision,
Yep.
But for a comic to so blatantly tackle incest was crazy.
And when I think of that comic, I just remember Godzilla 2014.
I mean, was it inaccurate? Godzilla 2014 was just being comic accurate.
Yeah, it was. You're not wrong. I mean,
Technically speaking.
they were going for the bars on that one for sure.
I mean, but come on, if you were Elizabeth Olsen's brother, would you?
I don't know if I'm equipped to answer that question. That seems like a tough one, but I would say I think in terms of the
Okay, top hottest Olsen twins. Of the Olsen, not.
we're doing the Olsen twins, as in the Olsen
top
family.
hottest, yeah, the Olsen family, really.
You know, I think I don't even know if Elizabeth is the hottest one.
No.
I would say that's a tough question. I've not thought of the Olsen twins in a long time.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Let's see. So I would say
Sorry, Cody.
So we all gave we gave our take on our three-ish X-Men side stuff. What do you guys think is the best X-Men cartoon?
X-Men Evolution.
You love X-Men Evolution, okay?
Yeah, from 2002, I used to have the Burger King CD-ROM again.
Oh, I love.
It's exclusive from Burger King. They also have Pokemon one, and you can print out. So
I mean, I love X-Men Evolution. What they did with some of the character arcs, how they used certain characters' powers.
Okay, but in X-Men Evolution, which female character did you, or male really, but which one did you find the most hot?
Oh, Rogue, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogue's awesome. And you know what's actually funny? I'll tell you a little story about Rogue. My fiance Ella, being that she is a Southern belle, when I first started dating her, I told her that she was going to be dressing up like Rogue all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're going to Comic-Con this summer, and my friend's going to be Deadpool, I'm going to be Wolverine, and she's going to be Rogue.
Oh no, shit.
Because I have a big fantasy for Rogue. I don't know. There's something so hot about the fact that like
Yeah.
I could die if I kissed her, but like it's worth it, right?
I don't know about all that.
You don't know if it's worth it.
Wouldn't be.
You wouldn't risk it with Rogue
wouldn't.
just so that you could.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't confidently say. I couldn't with good in a good conscience sacrifice my life to kiss Rogue. No. And here's why. I just couldn't do my boy Gambit like that.
That's fair. Out of respect for Gambit, there's other women.
Not even my life, Like I'm willing to put it all on the line and sacrifice my life.
See, that's fair. I mean, Gambit's my boy. I don't think you could do that to him for sure. I would say the thing we got to really talk about is Psylocke's the question. That's always the question. Is Psylocke is the question and
Well,
the
Psylocke
answer.
actually started as a Captain Britain character.
Really?
Press X.
Yeah.
That's something I did not know actually.
Yeah, she actually did.
Sorry, I'm not used to Xbox controls.
There we go.
Yeah, so I love Psylocke. The only thing that I will say is I know you mentioned you mentioned Apocalypse. I have beef with you about Apocalypse. I was not happy about how they did Olivia Munn dirty as Psylocke. I was disappointed in how she was handled. I think Psylocke could have been done better.
Sure.
I mean, she was hot, don't get me wrong, but she was disappointing considering how awesome of a character she is.
Well, I mean, Psylocke is of British descent, and I do not think Olivia Munn is actually British.
Yeah, I agree.
She's just a British white chick in the comics, and then she somehow gets.
It's interesting.
Chris Claremont actually created the character when he was doing Captain Britain, and then as a nod to him, since he did that long X-Men run, they made her X-Men character, and they just completely redrew her to look way different, and then that's how Psylocke was made, because she's just like a normal-looking blonde nurse or something like that.
Moon Knight's just getting smacked over there.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Moon Knight is just getting smacked. I'm like, whoa, what's wrong, Moon Knight? Why are you getting smacked so hard by him? But yeah, I would say, I think that's an interesting take. In terms of all the X-Men women, I would say, Also, this might be.
Did you think it was offensive that they cast Peter Dinklage as Stryker?
I loved it, honestly.
Did you think it was a little weird that he got shorter between the movies?
It was a little odd. It was an odd
like
choice.
continuity perspective, like I would have preferred him to be a normally able individual.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think they could have done something.
But I mean, it's just the woke agenda,
Yeah, it's just the world we live in. I feel like that's good.
I mean, if they're gonna get woke,
They're gonna
you
push
might as well
stuff like
woke it
that.
up with, because in the comics, I believe he was actually a shorter individual.
Connor Luke Cage leveled up, by the way. I don't know if you.
So here's my question, right? So you guys know the fact that like Storm and T'Challa getting married, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to hook up with Storm, you could cause an actual international isolated war incident because T'Challa might. I
mean, honestly though, if she had to choose between Black Panther's ripped ass or me, I don't think she's picking Slubby White guy,
this is a world where you
I
could
feel like I'd be self-conscious.
But you're writing a comic where you could make yourself different. You could make yourself different than what you are.
What do you think about in the Obama comic book when because you remember when Obama crossed over? What the fuck? Where am I? Oh, got lost. You remember when Obama met Spider-Man in the comics?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
What do you think about the fact that
Ooh, I got
when
classic
I run
Obama.
in 2008, I want you to be my vice president, Spider-Man, and then he turned down the offer and said that I do know a pretty cool guy, Professor Xavier.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of when in comics they like to get political, but that was an interesting.
Yeah, like
that
I didn't
was an
like
interesting
Obama's
one.
politics, really.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
Let's get a little political on this podcast. Orange Man or Joe Biden, 2024?
I think I gotta go Orange Man. I think that's the move.
I think he would if he was in charge, he would make the X-Men less woke.
I think so. I think you could do it. You could do good justice for sure.
But why is Marvel not doing why didn't they do Spider-Man crosses over with Trump and have a good old time?
That's kind of weird that they didn't do that.
I don't know, man.
Because Joe Biden, they did the Spider-Man cross Joe Biden, and I like how they kind of poke fun at the people who like thought it was a conspiracy that Joe Biden's like sniffing little girls' hair and stuff, because he sniffs Spider-Man's hair in the comics, and he's like, "Whoa, Joe, what's going on?" And Joe says, "I'm just friendly," which I thought.
So
was
do you believe that
interesting.
Bob Iger and Joe Biden are in like cahoots? Like
Oh, yeah.
they're working in.
Yeah, you want to control they're controlling the narrative. Sleepy Joe, you know?
That is.
I mean, what can I say, you know? I think we'd have better Star Wars movies if
Orange Man.
he was back in the orange.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And you
Honestly,
know,
like
behind
it's hard
closed
to
doors,
argue with.
When he gets up to the line and he has to pick who he votes for, who's he voting for now? Bob Iger.
Yeah.
It's all politics, man. It's all about lobbying and really just social.
Well,
justice.
here's some crazy politics for you. I don't know if you know this, if you follow Twitter or know this. Mark Hamill has chosen to vote for Joe Biden for
Wow.
2024.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's actually kind of shocking because, like, I always thought, like his character Luke Skywalker is like definitely a Republican. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I think
Like,
that,
I always thought, like, because Star Wars is such like a Republican movie franchise.
I wonder if Last Jedi changed his perspective and his tune,
Yeah, that's a good point.
or maybe it was when he became Skeletor for Kevin Smith's Netflix movies that really changed his perspective.
Kevin's a classic, kind of a social. He always backed the blue, because like, he backed the blue. Like he liked he supports local police officers
Okay, what are you retards?
in his town in New Jersey.
That was something I did. I'm gonna just throwing off things I can't even see. I even fall off. I can't even find. Oh, I'm down here. What the hell? Yeah, that is an interesting take. The fact that could actually that is something that when I read that about Mark Hamill, I was very surprised. I was like, that doesn't sound like a very Luke Skywalker thing.
No, really.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like Luke Skywalker, I always thought he was more of a like. I always like, in my opinion, Luke Skywalker always came off like. I don't want to use the term like authoritarian, classical. He's old fashioned, and
Yeah,
what Joe
for
Biden's
sure.
trying to do is he's trying to pander to.
Well, you know, he was religious and all.
I also, because he is a religious guy, and you know, like Joe Biden basically. I don't want to say Joe Biden kind of like believes in the devil, but he's not one with the Bible. That's for damn sure.
What do you guys think about the conspiracy theory that Obama is actually the Antichrist?
Seems-
It's actually a serious possibility that that's true.
Some people are saying that there was a YouTuber I was seeing that actually claims to have seen signs of it, which I think is interesting. They
Signs
said,
like what?
like his two hands are different. One of his hands is light and one's is dark.
What?
Yeah.
Who
There
would
was-
have thought it? Because I didn't notice that myself, actually.
It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it's very strange. We could been deceived, voting for someone that could have actually been a very bad thing.
Oh my God, Luke Cage just so.
Can you not jump?
I mean, he can. I've made it up here before. It's
You need to stop clapping Jessica Jones' cheeks. It's making your endurance a little.
there ain't no cheeks
Little
to
leak.
clap there. That's why I don't really like. What the fuck? Are you serious? I've made it up here.
I can pull this thing down for you.
Oh, is that what you're okay?
Probably supposed to do.
Because I made it up here once. I was able to kind of.
How was I? Now he teleported.
So never mind.
Yeah, they just had Nightcrawler make a cameo and just teleport Luke Cage up.
What do you think of
Pull
Archangel?
this way.
I like Archangel.
You think it was weird
No,
that in
no.
the new event, X-Men Apocalypse Force Rising, that Apocalypse and Archangel like kissed in the
Were
comics? Like,
besties?
I always like, sometimes the one thing I don't like about X-Men is sometimes I feel like they get too progressive with the.
Oh yeah, they get kind of crazy.
Like, I love the X-Men. I love that it like stands for like equality and all that. But like,
Wait, come this way for a
Yeah,
second.
sometimes they get a little messy. That's for sure. Oh, I'm still stuck in.
feel teleport, don't worry about it.
Yeah, my buddy Nightcrawler's helped me out, I guess.
I I see how this all loops together.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's something that just does not stand the way it should stand.
Sure.
If Kevin Feige came to you and offered you $1 million budget, you said I can spare $1 million. And he offered, I know most of the movies are much higher, but I'm having you make the Dum Dum Dugan movie. Would you include the arc where he has an affair with Nick Fury's wife?
I would. I would include it because I think it's important for everyone to know that that is comic book history.
Yeah, I mean, like in the comic books, there's the part where Ant-Man beats
My only
Why do you think of the fact
requirement
they
would-
didn't put that in
My
there?
only requirement for the movie would be I need because it would cost me less money. I think we need to make Aiden play Dum Dum Dugan, otherwise it just wouldn't work. I don't
What if
think
he's already contractually obligated to his 4 Jokers in the movie, though?
I think
Yeah,
you
that's
could make
the
an
problem.
exception because he's gonna get a pretty good cut.
Well, I think if I tried to
Kevin
make
Feige
an
thinks he'd probably
exception,
like choose, you know?
Warner Brothers would probably sue me to death.
Maybe Kevin Feige
I'd end
doesn't
up
need to
homeless on
know.
the street.
Maybe he doesn't need to know. Maybe we just keep it secret and he plays both.
I'd end up suckling wiener for crack if I betrayed DC like that.
Well, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I've heard theories. I was actually watching, so I've kind of like changed my tune on Darth Melvin a bit. To be honest with you, I really didn't like him at first, but I'm starting to like get his content more.
Really, you're understanding his stuff.
Yeah,
now.
like I'm starting to see him as like.
Yeah, I think it's a little.
And he had a theory that Kathleen Kennedy was actually sleeping with David Zaslav of Warner Brothers, and she's intentionally tanking Star Wars as like a political move. Because
So
if Disney got Star Wars right and was like putting out a movie every 2 months like they should be, then like if they're doing like 6 movies a year and like 4 or 5 TV shows to kind of fill the gaps, like they should be, then
Warner Bros. Would be kind of fun.
Warner Brothers
Yeah.
would be over. Like there wouldn't be time to watch like Superman. You know.
You definitely wouldn't made it to Dune 3 at this point.
No, you definitely, because people wouldn't watch Dune because honestly they would probably just have, if they were smart, they would have bought Dune and then just folded it into like a side universe in Star Wars.
Yeah, plus it's like Dune is just
Because
basically.
I know they want to cast.
Yeah,
I've heard rumors they want
Dune's
to cast
honestly a
Timothy
bit of a
Chalamet
Star
to
Wars
play-
ripoff in a lot
play
of
Luke
ways.
Skywalker.
It is. I mean, it's basically just a more boring Star Wars. Like that's basically the.
Yeah, they really just
The
took all of
concept.
George Lucas's ideas and
It's like basically they
bringed
like
them up.
they're like
Well, that's the
imagine.
problem with Dune is it's so boring.
I agree.
Because I watched Dune and it's like, okay, first off, woke.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. First off, let's just get
Check
woke
this
out of the
out.
way. And second off, it's just a big Star Wars ripoff. A little less good, really.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how they got away.
Yeah, I
with
feel
just-
like Austin Butler wishes.
like the
he
fact
could-
that it all takes place on a sand planet. Really,
Yeah, it is
we've seen
interesting.
this
it's
before.
blatant.
I feel like that Austin Butler just wishes he was Darth Maul, but he's not cool enough, and I feel like that really
Yeah,
hurts.
for sure.
It really hurts.
No, I heard Austin Butler said he was, he's actually offered, he was considering, like, he was pitching, him and his agent after Elvis were kind of using his star power to pitch to Kathleen Kennedy a young Darth Maul show. Because he's like, after Elvis, like, this is kind of my next...
I have no
Where do you
interest in
go
seeing.
from playing from Elvis Presley, and they actually got pretty far on talks to do Maul. They would have called it Young Maul when he was just a little shopping center.
I mean, if they're gonna do anything with Darth Maul, they gotta have the right people that understand Maul. I don't want some just wannabe.
Well, Austin Butler, the thing is, he's talked about how he watched The Phantom Menace like 40 times, but he wanted to kind of reinvent everything else. Like he said they'd have to tinker with the canon a bit. Because let's be honest, like a lot of that stuff with Rebels and like the books, it just wouldn't really work with Austin's vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't vibe with his vision. I like my Maul the way he is.
Because he had a vision of like, what if he was like an undercover Jedi, and he actually falls in love with Obi-Wan. Which
That
I
would
thought
be-
was weird. And then Ewan McGregor would come back, but they'd like digitally de-age him back to like Phantom Menace.
Whoever is
Type of-
whoever's pitching these ideas, I don't approve of. I
Well,
This
don't.
is
it's
Austin
Austin
Butler's team, yeah. Because Austin Butler, he's a big fan of Star Wars.
He called them the Butler Crew.
Well, I honestly was not in terms of his work as much as
Well,
I.
after he won Best Supporting Actor for Elvis to Tom Hanks, because after he won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar back in like 2020 or whatever.
Well, you know something crazy about that whole thing? I actually, as much as people were raving about him when he got cast in Dune, I did not like Elvis.
I thought Elvis was great, and I was seeing him move on stage doing Elvis's dance moves, and I actually kind of thought, is this guy a martial artist?
I mean, I thought the casting.
He definitely looks like he has some martial arts training.
I like the casting, but
you can tell, he loved, and his love for the Darth Maul character when he said, look, I don't want to do something fresh with Darth Maul, I don't give a fuck about the canon, really. I'll make shit from the Phantom Menace canon, because he wanted to actually change the end to where Qui-Gon didn't get killed. He actually
that's pretty
at one
cool.
point he was pitching that maybe Qui-Gon kills himself as a psyop, so that they can ultimately, because he kind of saw Darth Maul as a Jesus.
Okay, hold on. We have to answer the question. Stop.
Oh, sorry, I must have answered it wrong.
Your kid was
sorry.
killed. Stop. You're not reading them. Hold on. Click A.
Oh, I gotta click it. Okay. So which race? Let's see. What's the question?
Wait.
Which race is
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No idea. Quagga.
You think Quail? Okay. Nope. Wrong.
And we're
Well,
gonna
how
lose.
the fuck were we supposed to answer that? An Ion, I think?
An ion.
It's gotta be right.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah, that's interesting, but I definitely would not be a fan of his ideas. I just don't think. I think he should stick to being a boring Star Wars knockoff. So I don't think he has the caliber that is
Yeah.
needed to.
Frank
Do
Herbert
the
was
job.
a fucking huge hack when he just ripped off Star Wars.
Well, he even said, I basically, took Star Wars and I wanted to make it, because he always he thought Star Wars was great, but he's it's too fun. Basically, I think
He wanted
he wanted to make it for grown-ups, because he saw Star Wars as basically just a stupid baby. He's it was a stupid baby show.
See, the problem is people that don't understand Star Wars just
He was also a big
Because
fan.
he's what if I made Star Wars boring and pretentious? Basically, I mean, he didn't say boring. He said intelligent and pretentious, but he essentially was what if Star Wars was super boring.
Also,
and pretentious.
clearly, he wanted to do some woke stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I never respected Dune, but the fact that Kathleen Kennedy basically wanted because she's considered. I heard she's the Darth Maul project's kind of on the back burner, but now that Dune's done, who knows,
Well, what I heard is basically
Because she would just make anything else Darth Maul Infinities, Star Wars Infinities.
Well, I think the problem that we're running into is she's got her last chance right now. She needs that Rey money to make money. If that Rey movie don't make money, she gone.
I mean, maybe, but the young Darth Maul movie, that's gonna people are gonna be tricked,
But we're not gonna get to that Young Darth Maul movie if her Rey movie sucks, because her Rey movie's next up. We gotta
Bob
see.
Iger has a lot of faith in some of the pitches she's made, though. George Lucas too, personally, he read the script for the Rey movie and he loves it. He says it might be the best one since The Phantom Menace.
I do not believe.
Under Revenge of the Sith. But
I do not believe that.
he thinks it's around Phantom Menace tier.
I don't believe there's a single individual that has seen that script, because I don't think that script even close to exists yet.
I mean, that's just the rumor I heard, but I think they're in the
it's
pitching
been
phase,
getting
and a lot
passed
of the
around.
ideas
I think as long as Kathleen's involved, if you're gonna keep fucking.
because I heard rumors that a young Mara Jade might be in the movie
Yeah.
as Luke's daughter.
See, now they're gonna change that. See, that's another thing that I'm not gonna be on board with.
But I mean, whatever they want. I'm really just whatever they want to do.
Yeah. I mean,
good with me.
I'm curious to see what happens. It's hard not to be.
I just don't think they can. I don't know. I don't know if they can do it. I just don't know if it's I just don't think that continuing with Rey is the way that they're going to move their. I know what they want to do, and I just don't think it's going to work. I think she's going to be out of a job pretty soon.
What if they brought back Kylo Ren?
I mean, they could, but
Recast him as
basically,
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh yeah, recast. There you go, recast. Yeah, he's gonna need some work after he bombs as Craven.
I heard they're bringing in Michael B. Jordan to be Rey's new love interest.
I think Finn's gonna be pretty jealous.
Well, Finn gets killed off between movies because John Boyega got blacklisted from Hollywood.
Well, Finn was going to be killed off in Last Jedi, technically, until the most annoying character ever created saved him.
Rose Tico?
Yeah.
I like Rose Tico, honestly.
You're a fan of Rose Tico, huh?
I'm probably like...
Kind of a misunderstood
Because you got... I mean, I get a lot of people who aren't very smart don't like Rose Tico, and that's fine. But, like, Rose Tico, like, rounded out the trilogy, and that's why I think the sequel trilogy is my favorite era of Star Wars. Really.
Now people are gonna think you're smoking something for sure.
I mean, it's not my favorite. I think I might like the original better, but it's definitely better than the prequels, I'll tell you that much. Like, Revenge of the Sith is shit. And
Are you doing
like, The Last
myself?
Jedi is, like, much better from, like, because, like, I think Kylo Ren's a much better character than, like, because, like, I think of, like, I mean, maybe a part of it's that I just hate Austin Butler so much, but I just don't like the character of Darth Maul that much anymore. And I think Kylo Ren is better, frankly.
That is just interesting. You just
Because like I think
pushing
Kylo
it.
Ren, he's got the cross guard lightsaber, which is so much cooler than the double blade. He doesn't need to be a martial artist because Kylo Ren's just so much better at the Force than Darth Maul that, like, yeah, I mean, I think Darth Maul versus Kylo one-on-one, it's not even a contest. Darth Maul's head is on the ground. It's on the mantle next to Vader's helmet.
I think there's about 1 million people that would disagree on that topic.
But I think if we look at the power levels, because if you look at because Kathleen Kennedy, she has her own, it's private, like, Disney property, but I heard of people who, like, worked on certain shows like The Acolyte, which is set to be one of the best shows in Star Wars ever.
Yeah.
I heard that like the woman who's running The Acolyte, she got to look at the power levels, and she was telling her friend that based on the Disney internal power levels, because that's something they got to keep track of, is like everyone's Force mastery, is that Kylo Ren is the most powerful Sith. Like, he could probably, based on his power levels, like, they think he could probably, like, easily beat Darth Vader and Darth Maul at the same time.
See, that's where they would run into some problems.
And Count Dooku, I mean, he's not even an issue because he's so fucking old, you know?
I mean, like, lore-wise, I think that's kind of the case, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, based on, like, the lore, because, I mean, we gotta look at the official canon here. We gotta look at what's canon. We gotta look what's placed in front of us. And by that standard, I also think Rey might be twice as powerful as Anakin, I think, is what was leaked, but... See, I don't think she's twice as powerful. He's twice as powerful as Anakin, but I think she's at least like 1.5 times more powerful. I think the power levels might be a little mixed.
I don't.
Because there's a simulation they can run in the computer, and they had Darth Bane go against Darth Vader, and Darth Maul all at once going against Rey, and she kicked their fucking asses. Like, it wasn't even a. Because we're talking about Jedi Master Rey from the new movie. Like, she's now way more powerful than any Jedi who's ever been.
See, I just don't approve of the new Disney canon because everything they do is just, it contradicts what is meant to go forward.
I heard, like, there's rumors in the Rey movie they're flirting with the idea of her not even walking. Like, she just, like, she transcends with the Force.
That is just... I don't know.
Just so much more powerful.
I don't even know what to think about
And
any of this
the
stuff.
start of the movie, it's kind of a cold open, I've heard, where, like, the rumor is she's fighting, like, a young Luke Skywalker, played by Sebastian Stan, and she just absolutely gets the best of him. And then Hayden Christensen flips in, and she just, like, two-shot boink boink, you know, and he's down.
See, this is exactly why I started
because
going...
she's in the Jedi simulator. and then it opens up to like a diverse crowd of children who are training to be Jedi.
See, this is exactly what
a Jedi, a Wookiee Jedi. Baby Yoda is basically like sitting there pretzel like just like learning from Rey.
See, this is exactly what I decided to take my own, like, with everything that they're doing, I've ended up having to sign over other companies and try and, like, so, I don't know if you know this, but because of everything has gotten so bad, George Lucas has actually tried banding with other people, and George Lucas, Gina Carano, and Elon Musk are trying to buy Star Wars back from everywhere.
Really?
Yes.
That might be interesting. But I don't think I mean then they'd have to restart. They'd have to like revert to Legends or something as the main continuity, which I just don't think would work because then you can't count 7, 8, 9. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think Episode 8 actually kind of sits with the best Rotten Tomatoes score of all of them. And I just think like I know George Lucas has always lived and died by the Rotten Tomatoes, so like how do you make those canons intermingle? To where you add Rey, Kylo, and the events of 7, 8, 9 into the original canon.
Well, the one thing that Dave Filoni
Like
and
you
George...
cut Solo, you cut Rogue One,
Yeah.
Mandalorian, get rid of it.
But I think the
Because
whole
no
thing
one
is...
likes what's her name, Gina what's her face?
Gina Carano, huh?
No one likes her because she thinks she's like, honestly, like we looked at her power bank, like her power bank. I've heard she's at straight zeros. The only thing she has is 1 in fatness and bulk. 1 power level in there because she might have ate 1 too many Twinkies.
I mean, she was a former MMA, UFC...
I mean, definitely
champion.
former because people called her a chub ass and they just got because Kathleen Kennedy, like she's funny. She kind of like makes jokes. She's kind of one of the sillier creatives who have ever worked in Star Wars. Like that's what kind of makes her movies, her sequel movies.
You
work
speak
so well.
like you know Kathleen Kennedy personally, like you...
I don't. I really don't. I wish I did. Because, like, I always think, like, it makes sense. Like, you got Luke and Anakin, but they're old news. Those characters are, like, 40 years old. Like, you gotta make the new guard, and if you want to live up, they gotta be more powerful. Like, I think Rey's the real chosen one. Like, when you think about it, because she kills Sidious. She's the one who finally kills Sidious.
She killed
Darth
his
Vader
dog.
and Luke Skywalker had nothing to do with killing the Empire.
I mean, she killed a zombie version of Sidious after Luke defeated the true Emperor, so...
But she also got Snoke. Snoke didn't even stand a chance. I think that kind of proves... I mean, Kylo helps, because Kylo, I mean, he's a powerful Sith. Snoke didn't stand a chance when going against Kylo, and
We didn't
maybe
even know...
Luke and Darth, if it was Luke and Darth going against Snoke, maybe he'd have a chance, but not Kylo and Rey, no. No shot, really.
It's because they keep trying to make Rey too powerful.
I think Rey is like at an appropriate power level. Like I think it makes sense that she could beat like Maul and
Yeah, I mean, she
Like-
has Sidious's blood.
because she does. Yeah, she has Sidious's blood, really. So like that's what makes her the chosen one. Because what people mistake about the Skywalker sagas, it's not the story of Luke and Anakin Skywalker. It's the story of Palpatine. It's really Palpatine's rise to power. In the prequels, he gets the Empire. In the original trilogy, you know, he becomes one with the Force at the end of it. After running a successful government, something that the New Republic could never do. And then his kin is ultimately the one who kills him. So I think it made a lot of sense, because he becomes one with the Force, really.
That is such an interesting perspective.
Because it's like poetry, it rhymes.
If it rhymes so well, why did the movies not do good with her character?
I mean, Force Awakens did very well.
Because it was the last Star Wars movie that had happened since 2005.
Last Jedi did incredibly well. It was a blockbuster.
It did not do incredibly well. It did nothing compared to what Force Awakens did. It did. Its box office was not very good. It was... Let's see, what was it?
I mean, let's just look at the numbers here. All Star Wars movies ranked by the Tomato Meter. Let's see. According to critics, Empire Strikes Back is the best one.
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
I agree.
Basic choice. Force Awakens is next. 100% agree.
I agree with Force
I can kind
Awakens.
of see it.
Number 3, the original movie. I don't like the original Star Wars movie because it's just a bunch of crap.
So you don't agree with the original vision?
Number
of the
4,
movie?
here we go. Last Jedi. I would have put it up probably 2 spaces on it, 3 spaces probably. I'm not gonna put Last Jedi as number 1. Rogue One number 5. Bottom of the list.
You must be a
Return of the Jedi. Shit.
You must be a Last Jedi.
Revenge of the Sith number 7. I would probably put it at 7's fair. Okay.
You sound like you're a Last Jedi
Solo number 8.
sympathizer.
Solo should have been number 3 under. It should be Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Solo for sure.
Ooh, so you're a
Attack
fan
the
of
Clones
Solo.
number 9. That's fair. Number 10 is Rise of Skywalker. Really, Rise of Skywalker is number 4 under Solo. Phantom Menace number 11, totally fair. Number 12, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. If they could have given it 15th, even though there's not 15 Star Wars movies, that would have been fair. So that's where I'm at personally.
Yeah.
That is a weird take for Rotten Tomatoes stuff. I do not know if that's the right take, but it's a weird take. You're looking at your games.
I was just skimming.
Oh, what the hell?
What?
Speak of the fucking devil. Star Wars news. CinemaCon. Austin Butler came on stage.
No fucking
Kathleen
way.
Kennedy revealed that he will be Darth Maul.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Dude, look it up. Star Wars CinemaCon. Darth Maul.
I'm sure we got news. I doubt it would be Darth Maul related. Plus, I just don't buy the Austin Butler stuff.
I'm just kidding. But Warner Brothers brings out DC Studios and Furiosa. Let's see.
Interesting. Oh, Ella's home now. She misses me, I guess.
Well, I guess we should say our goodbyes.
Yep. It is almost 10 o'clock.
Any final thoughts, fellas?
It was fun.
It was fun.